Happy Taco Tuesday. Hopefully everyone is doing great out there. I'm actually not doing great right now because, well, Jagex just murdered my money-making method. Or actually not really murdered my money-making method, but they made my money-making method obviously much harder to do. Welcome here if you are new, and it's time for a new vlog. I cover a wide range of, everything, and today is very much going to be a rant on RuneScape 3. Yeah, that's right, RuneScape 3 we're going to be covering today. New video has been uploaded to my main channel, showing my loot tab from another week at Frost Dragons, old school RuneScape Frost Dragons, so definitely check that out if you are subscribed to the main channel as well. Tomorrow, I'm going to be uploading my first video ever of leagues on this YouTube channel. And then on Thursday, I'm going to be uploading a video on my main channel about leagues again. Old school RuneScape leagues are starting tomorrow. I can't wait, baby. So, yeah, if you're going to be partaking in leagues, definitely drop me a comment down below. But we really got to talk about RuneScape 3 for the time being. So, if you are familiar with anything that's going on in RuneScape 3, let me go ahead and sum it up for you. 2012, Jagex management team did a very bad thing to RuneScape. And in theory, it created old school RuneScape. And then they pretty much made a separate version of RuneScape over the last decade. Instead of having RuneScape 3 and old school RuneScape run on a parallel, universe in a way, which means you got old school RuneScape being RuneScape, and then you got RuneScape 3 being modern day RuneScape. Okay, sure. Two games are very separate, but they're traveling along the same, pathway. Maybe the same highway, right? It is... Obviously, you have old school RuneScape here going forward, and obviously you have RuneScape 3 drifting farther and farther away, and turning nothing more into a microtransaction. There are so many people that don't even, they look at RuneScape 3 and they literally say microtransaction-scape, cosmetic-scape. It's just there to make Jagex money in a way, right? However, Jagex has very much been restoring or trying to restore the game to a level of integrity that is very much noticeable as RuneScape. If you really want to ask me my opinion, Jagex should really maybe do even more rebranding and maybe change the name of RuneScape 3 to maybe something a little different, because it does confuse a lot of people. Because when RuneScape Classic went to RuneScape 2, Jagex didn't call RuneScape 2 RuneScape 2. Jagex just called RuneScape RuneScape. So maybe definitely doing some rebranding would actually take a lot of negative viewpoints out of RuneScape 3. Maybe that's going to come in the future. Who really knows? But otherwise, Jagex is removing a lot of things that just really altered the game experience forever. And they removed Treasure Hunter a couple months ago. That is a move in the right direction. They're restoring a lot of graphical updates to make RuneScape 3 look like RuneScape 2 in a way. And one of the things they are doing away with now is auroras. So what is a aurora? Well, it is a, how do I put this very simple? It is basically, so picture on old school RuneScape that you go to Bandos. And picture that Bandos does damage to you. But as Bandos is doing damage to you, your prayer points is going up. Isn't that crazy? So think about it this way. You go to Bandos, and Bandos does damage to you, or any minion in Bandos, dungeon, and your prayer points goes up. What else does Bandos drop along with his minions? They drop food. So, Bandos does damage to you. You pick up food. You eat the food and your prayer points go up. That is called a, I always, like, mess up the pronunciation of this word. Penis. I think I got this one. There are so many different auroras, but the Penis Aurora is like the best thing ever. Because you can go to a boss on RuneScape 3, and the boss will do damage to you, and your prayer points will constantly be elevated, which means you can pray until you choose to stop fighting the boss. It is such a cheater's mentality, it is not even funny. That is how I do Dagannoth Kings on RuneScape 3 for 1 hour every day, and I don't even bring prayer potions. I just literally let the things attack me, and they drop a lot of food, sharks. I eat the sharks, and my prayer points stay very elevated. It's crazy. I have made 40 billion GP in the last 4 years by doing this money-making method, by literally playing RuneScape 3 1 hour out of the day. I am very much retired from RuneScape 3 because I just literally do one thing for 1 hour, but I still care about my RuneScape 3 bank. Obviously, my bank on RuneScape 3 is like 130 billion GP. I have a friggin' blue party hat now, so, I mean, yeah, just like, my bank on RuneScape 3 is very valuable. And it's also worth billions of GP, hypothetically, if I did transfer it to old school RuneScape. Will I ever transfer it? No. Because I don't want to do that. I very much like having a very high valuable bank of very much valuable rare items on RuneScape 3. But the whole thing about it is that, yes, removing auroras from the game, that is definitely like a great step in the right direction. But on the friggin' flip side, it utterly destroys a lot of money-making methods, and it makes my life much harder. Why does it make my life much harder? Because now, when I go to friggin', when I go to, Dagannoth Kings, I gotta bring friggin' pee-pee pots, or rather, super pee-pee pots. Yeah, it's a pain in my testicles. I got on, Dagannoth Kings, late last night, normally I do my 1 hour of RuneScape 3 while I'm watching like a movie or something, or a TV show, and it is so AFK-able that I have my laptop on my lap, I'm in my bedroom, and I'm just like AFKing, and I'm watching a movie, watching a TV show, and I'm making between friggin' like, 40 to 80 million GP to literally fight Dagannoth Kings, right? Pretty crazy. And the reason I'm making so much GP is because I have the mask of the Dagannoth Kings. When you have a mask of the Dagannoth Kings, every 10 kills gives you a double drop, which means I can go ahead and get double drops of Sears rings, which are very high in... So I make like 24 million GP per drop. 24 million GP on RuneScape 3, that's nothing, but it does add up over time. But now, I gotta actually pay attention to my friggin', prayer points. It's not that AFK-able. I am all about restoring, like, RuneScape 3, but Jagex has pretty much fucked me again, in the sense of, well, my money-making method has become a lot harder. Now, has my money-making method been murdered? Well, if, for whatever reason, Jagex decides to remove the mask of Dagannoth Kings, which I don't believe they will, but I could be totally wrong. Maybe they will. Let me just go ahead and look at this stuff really quickly. Let's see. Jagex has definitely altered so many, like, things. It's not even funny. These auroras were designed... Here it is. So Vampirism, and Penis, they're the two OG auroras in the game. However, now they've been pretty much, like, removed. These auroras were designed around converting damage into useful resources like health and prayer points to preserve these effects. They're now been moved to the aspect system. Aspect are combat buffs such as darkness, animated dead. So basically they're pretty much buffs players can activate via spell books. Okay, so they basically very much like changed these Aurora systems to very much like spells in a way. I mean, are they like good and stuff? Are they not good? It just like it's a pain in the nuts. Obviously, you can still do like you can activate these things by like your magic and stuff, but it just makes the game a little more like un-AFK-able and stuff. But I do like how Jagex still has these things like in the spell books. But in theory, I mean, they did fully remove like the auroras like entirely. And a lot of people are really talking about this. Okay, obviously it's very much altered like in the spell books and stuff. But at the same time, it's just very anti-RuneScape 3. Like, I mean, on a good note, it very much is like anti-RuneScape 3. Which, I mean, by all means, it is going in the right direction. This Aurora here would actually increase your prayer points whenever you drank a PP pot, which was pretty epic. So if you drank, keep it simple, you took one sip of a prayer potion, instead of going up by 300 prayer points, aka 30 prayer points in old school RuneScape, you would go up by like 450, aka 45, which is pretty cool. So a lot of these things obviously have been altered. And Jagex said that they will be doing even more alteration to this game. It does make gameplay back a little bit, but let's be like realistical about this. I can go ahead and still AFK at Dagannoth Kings all day long. By all means, my AFKing ability at Dagannoth Kings has really like not gone down drastically. I can very much go to Dagannoth Kings and you know, AFK and stuff, but it makes it a little less AFKing. So my prediction in the future is that Jagex probably will more than likely be nerfing a lot of the Mask the Dagannoth King drops. Actually, hold on one second. Let me ask AI a question. Jagex removed Auroras yesterday on RS3 as part of Integrity Era. Is Jagex going to remove or alter Mask of the Dagannoth Kings? Okay, let's see what AI has to say. Google, Gemini, do ya bidding. Come on, what does AI have to say? Does AI think that Jagex is going to truly F me my A even more? AI is giving me a stupid answer. Okay, AI doesn't know. Yeah, AI. Yeah, frig you too, AI. On a super closing note, stay tuned for League content tomorrow. That video is going to be rock and rolling. I'm actually super duper excited. So definitely drop me a comment down below if you think that this is a good thing for RuneScape 3. Pretty much moving into a better direction for RuneScape 3 itself. And by all means, I have love for all of RuneScape. I love RuneScape 3. I love old school RuneScape. And I really do hope that RS3 really does not die and very much move into a better move into a less chaotic mentality. Give or take, right? All right, everyone, stay tuned for more content, especially on this channel. Hopefully you all have a great day, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Later.